My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we are going to do a reading their thoughts about you at this time. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Jane Austen tarot deck. Now, this is not like the usual tarot deck. It does not have 78 cards, okay? Just 53, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's 53. So I can't read it like other decks. So I'm going to be reading it intuitively, which you have to do with tarot anyway. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter about the traditional meaning of the cards. It's about what it prompts within your own intuition, right? Because you have all the answers inside of you. The tarot is just to make the energy manifest for you to see, just in case you're doubting yourself, right? You have all the answers anyway. So we have here Pachamama, okay, divine feminine energy, and it feels almost like explosive, like there's something that's waiting to burst forth and grow or be created or made into some sort of reality. All right, let's get a significator for the energy generally. Generally, we have lightning. Them been struck by lightning. They have some sort of idea. And then we have also another card, number 3, 30 reduced to 3. So again, that is Empress energy, divine feminine energy. So what am I getting right now? Right now, your person is electric. Okay. They are receiving a lot of downloads from the ethers, the heavens, whatever you want to conceptualize, divine source, whatever you want to conceptualize this energy as, right? This collective consciousness, collective intelligence. They're receiving a lot of information, and they're receiving that because they're actually opening their heart and their spirit to receive these messages. And whatever they are getting, it is electrifying them into action. So your person, like this massive light bulb right now, and what they're trying to do is find a way to harness this energy that's there, that they're getting, and ground it. And it reminds me of something I was telling K Moon over the weekend, right? Because she was mentioning, oh, she's so great at that, talking about the different shifts that were happening and all of that. And then I said, yes, I felt it as well. And it felt like, there's this just ball of energy hanging over the collective, which we've not yet harnessed and grounded. And this feels like it right now, right? It's all this potential energy out there, but we've just not been able as a collective to ground it into our present reality. And I feel like the reason we haven't been able to do that, I'm going to tell you honestly, is that we are getting distracted by a lot of the things that are happening around us. And you're not to judge yourself for that, because the things that are happening around us are basically like demanding our attention. And it's going to take a lot of energy and a lot of strength just to, I wouldn't say disconnect, because we can't disconnect from what's happening, right? We're meant to interact with our 3D world, but not forget about the 5D and our potential to influence the 3D by tapping into that 5D energy and grounding that beautiful energy into our 3D reality. This is what we're meant to be doing, especially for those of us who are resonating with either twin flames or being some sort of light worker, grid worker. This is our job. This is our job. So right now, for some of us, we are abdicating our duty. I don't mean to call anybody out or be harsh or anything like that, but this is a message that is coming through today. Let's see a person's energy towards you. I'm going to pull some cards on that, but that's the message. We have the Silver Waterfall, and this Silver Waterfall card is about clearing, purging, refining the spirit, clearing the energy field. And this is actually a meditation that can be done, whether you are in the shower, you're near a body of water. Ideally, it should be done near a body of water. And just imagine, and if you're lucky enough to have a waterfall near you, just to stand underneath that water and just allow that natural energy to take away um, any sort of negativity, anything that's been keeping you stuck. This is what this is the energy that your person is in. They want to clear any obstacles that may be preventing you guys from being together. Their energy towards you is luminosity. Now they see you shining bright. I mean, look at this. She is, the Empress is all the queens rolled in one, and we see it here. Okay, we see the Queen of Pentacles, we see the Queen of Fire, we see the Queen of Spirit, and we see, of course, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Air here, right? So they see you as the complete package, and maybe that's why I used Jane Austen's deck, because back in her time, you would have been, you would have had everything to recommend you. Everything to recommend you, right? And that's what they see. They see you as having it all, being everything. This person really has you kind of idealized. And that's nice and it's very flattering. But sometimes when we idolize someone so much and we kind of deify them, then it's difficult for us to connect with and see their humanity, and sometimes they can hold you to a different standard as well, so that's the risk of that. Okay, let's put some cards on this and let's see what's going on. And it's interesting that I would use this I'll be attracted to this Jane Austen deck, because I actually watched, I love her books, and I try to watch all the adaptations of her books. It's just fun. And of course I have my favorites. And I actually watched a new one, and I didn't even know about this book. And the book was Love and Friendship. And apparently she wrote that in her early teens, somewhere there, they're estimating somewhere between 11 and 15. And the adaptation, is quite complex. And there is a character there. Okay, maybe I'm not sure I should go into that just yet. If I feel the prompt again to talk about her, I will. Maybe there's a reason why. Okay, anyways. All right, let's see this lightning energy. If it comes up again, I'll share. All right, so we have here a Queen of Cups in reverse. It says High Priestess in reverse. All right, so what we're getting, this is a big shift for your person, because before their heart was closed. Don't tell them anything about this energy and receiving any kind of message or anything like that. They just weren't open to it. But something has happened to your person, and they're opening up themselves to the spirit. And what has happened to this person, quite frankly, is love. When they opened their heart to you, they didn't just open their heart to you. They opened their heart to the universe. And this is what's allowing them to receive all these messages right now. It is love. You busted open their heart for spirit to move through. And no one holds a candle to you as far as they are concerned. Okay, you are such a wild card, right? Maybe they think you're funny or you're humorous or whatever, but that's not what I'm getting. The Joker card is the wild card. Anything can happen, and with you, anything can happen because you command the elements. You command the elements. They see you as a very creative person. Everything that you touch, you have the Midas touch. Look at you. Everything you touch grows, turns into gold as far as this person is concerned. Nobody is like you. No one like you. There's no one like you as far as they're concerned. And this weighs on them. And it weighs on them, the 10 of Wands. It weighs on them because for some of them, there may be a contract, whether it is a work contract or a marriage contract or some sort of social contract, maybe even with an institution or religion, or, that prevents them, as far as in their mind, that prevents them or prevented them in the past from being with you physically. And it feels like this is something that they want to move away from, because they're being called to live their most authentic life, and they're not doing that right now. This is the Seven of Swords. It's a chariot, it says so, but it's also the Seven of Swords. They've been living a lie, and they see that now. So this is them in the process of some sort of course correction. Because it feels like you're pulling them into you, right? This person's pulling everything into. You're pulling them into, like like some kind of tractor beam here. All right. What are they thinking? What are their thoughts of you today? Today, when they think about you, what are their thoughts? All right, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and it's a Star card in reverse. So it's like two. There was a lot of 2-in-1s here. We have the best. We all have the best guides within us. If only we would listen. We have the Moon, but this is also 8 of Cups. But they are listening. We have the 6 of Swords in reverse. Oh my. And we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Hindsight is always 2020, and this is what they are basically participating in right now. They think they're a jackass. This is a jackass card, right? They think they're a jackass, and they think they're a jackass because they weren't thinking. That's what I think. They weren't thinking clearly when they were with you. They were just activated and responding to the triggers that you were bringing up within them. It was all very instinctive, right? In that overactive reptilian brain, that's exactly what was happening. So we have someone with a nervous system that's basically gone haywire, and then you add some triggers to that, and you find someone that's in that self-preservation mode. And when we're in that self-preservation mode, is it the 4 F's now, right? It's fight, freeze, fawn, and fawn may encompass what I'm going to say next, but the next one is fuck, right? So for some people, they may try to run away from these triggers by indulging. Well, maybe that's flight as well, right? Indulging in some sort of escape mechanism, right? Or some sort of mechanism that they think may give them back their power or regulate their nervous system, right? And I think this is what your person was doing, right? And they realize now that them just reacting instead of sitting with the triggers, maybe they didn't have tools to sit with the triggers, right? They hurt you. For some of them, I think for most of them, they may not have meant to hurt you, but the end result was them hurting you. It was them hurting you. And it's because they were just too activated to listen to what their intuition was telling them, right? Their intuition was telling them one thing and their body was telling them the next, right? This nervous system was saying, danger, 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 Will Robinson, right? Danger, right? With regard to you, this person is going to hurt you. And they were just reacting. And that's why, they may have never put in any effort in this relationship, because all their effort was being put into running away. 8 of Cups. So that's what they're thinking about today, right? And it feels like they're now able to think about that because they've been able to master, their nervous system. Get themselves into this place of stillness where they're able to just look at things objectively and rather than just reacting. So that's what they're thinking about. They wish that they had the tools that they have now back then. Maybe they think maybe they would have made different decisions, but everything plays out as it should for your healing, for their healing, and it looks like they've done quite a bit of work. But it doesn't stop them from beating themselves up, and I feel like just a level of shame where they are concerned, like a lot of shame. Especially now that they can see things so clearly. And for some of them, their guides might be coming through. So for some of them, they may be connecting with their guides as well. And it feels like, that's allowing them to see the bigger picture, the road ahead. And they're realizing the path and the part that you are meant to play in their life. Okay. Let's look at the emotions that are driving some of these thoughts. Okay. Oh, and just a reminder, don't forget that the Meet Your Guides course starts next week, Saturday. And if you book that course this week, and if you book any services this week, quite frankly, it is 10% off for the Double 10 holiday, Double 10 savings. So I'll put the link for that down below. But if you want to connect with you on the guides, just like a person is connecting with them right now, I still have space in that course. Okay. Emotions. They're feeling more empowered. Definitely. Okay. Emotions that are driving these thoughts. We have trustworthy. They have been able to come to a level of trust within themselves, to trust themselves. But you have also proven your trustworthiness to them. I don't know what you did, or if it's suddenly some sort of realization that they came to, but this person trusts you. They have deemed you trustworthy. They're annoyed or angry, but I get this is an annoyance more aimed towards self. We'll see who it's aimed towards, but I'm getting the self. Paranoid. Okay, I don't think this is them paranoid now, but I think it's them realizing that they were very paranoid, and again, their mind just run a mile a minute. The Knight of Pentacles, when he's reversed, as he is here, is someone who is neurotic. Their mind can go down some tangents and some rabbit holes. Just amazing. The mind just takes over. So we're getting confirmation of that. And they're also heartbroken because they know if it was them, they would find it very difficult to let this person back into their life. Anyway, Spirit tells about this trustworthy card. Yeah, they think that you're so trustworthy and you're so straightforward, and that you're authentic and very truthful. This is the Queen of Swords. And no, she's a straight talker. She don't have time for the lies and the bullshit and all of that. No, she will tell you what it is, and what you see is what you get with the Queen of Swords, and that's what they found in you. You've been tried and tested by this person, and it feels like you've passed that module, right? Whether you care, I'm not sure, but I'm just letting you know. Why are they annoyed? We have the Four of Swords. And we have here death, and this is a death card in reverse here as well. Why are they annoyed? Because they hurt you. When they were their unawakened self, when they were asleep, it looks like they hurt you, and they're just so sorry about that, because they know getting back into your good graces, earning your trust again, is going to be a task. And they're not even sure if they can do it. Look, we have this paranoid card here, right? What if you don't want them? Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. They might also be paranoid about, what would be the reaction of family members, what would be the reaction of a soon-to-be ex-spouse or soon-to-be ex-partner. They're worried about that as well. They're worried about perhaps losing some sort of financial grounding or some sort of financial safety net if they move towards you. So this person has a lot on their mind, but I don't think it's the overthinking that they were indulging in it before. I think it's like legitimate concerns that they may have, right? They're heartbroken, but this brokenness has made them into a more self-sufficient, independent, balanced, and stable version of themselves, because this is the King of Pentacles here. Sorry. This is the King of Wands here, and he's a go-getter. And we also have the Magician. So it's that passion, but it's also self-mastery, which we weren't seeing before with this person. Before, they were just all scattered all over the place. Okay. So their heart being broken actually pushed them into a better version of themselves, and that is because the guidance was able to come through. Okay. And they realize that they're supported. They're not alone, right? It's not them against the world. They are supported. What's happening in their life that might be influencing their perception of you at this time? What's happening in their life? Let me see. Let me use this Monkey Light Oracle. That's a strange deck to be attracted to for here. Anyway, I'm just going to trust. What's happening in their life? I've just never used this deck for what's happening in their life part of the reading, but I'm just going to trust that the messages are going to come through. What's happening in their life? We have Dance with Life. Yeah, they're not putting up a resistance anymore. Okay, they are going with the flow of the heart, with the flow. Now that they've reconnected to source energy, spirit, they can feel it. They can feel it, and they know just instinctively what's next. And it says here, do something to change your energy. So they've changed their vibration. This is why everything is happening. What's happening in their life that's changing or influencing their perception of you? We have the Age of Light, right? It's an awakening energy. And we have here, you've been training for this for lifetimes. So because they've gone through this awakening energy, and for some of them, they may be unconsciously or maybe even consciously connecting to the Akasha. They figured out the plan. They figured out the plan. They see it clearly. What needs to happen next. And what needs to happen next is going to take a lot of courage from them, because just in the background, there are a lot of obstacles. But they know exactly what's meant to happen now. They've gotten that message. So that's why we're seeing this big switch up, because they finally see your place in their life. It's like they couldn't see you before, right? They had that proverbial scales over their eyes, and instead of letting you in, they would just kept pushing you away because they deemed you as a threat. But they're not seeing that anymore. They're seeing that you are part of their supporting cast, and they are part of your supporting cast. They see the big picture now. And they're seeing, and look at here, divine orchestration, help us in the subtle realms. They see that. They see that it's all going according to plan. Because they've seen the plan. They see how you are supporting them, and they're seeing how they are supporting you energetically. They see that it's all connected. And then we have this energy here, all this happening in the ethers, and then it's grounding into the earth. So they also understand their role as a light worker or star seed to ground this energy of love into the 3D. What's happening in their life? We have the ever unfolding rose, and it says cracked open. It's happening for you and not to you. And I think this is a game changer. This is what they realized when their heart was cracked open, that everything is not happening to them, right? Nobody is out to get them. They can throw aside that persecution complex. Everything is happening to refine and temper them and to reveal to them who they really are. Underneath it all, who they really are. What's happening in their life? We have trust and niggle. So they're trusting their intuition. And that's been the game changer. They're trusting their intuition. I think before, this person was just operating from, the mind, very cerebral. But now that they're tapping into this divine feminine energy that is inside of them, they're trusting themselves. They realize it's like they knew it all along. I think when this person first met you, they knew you were the one. Before their brain hijacked them, they knew it. They could feel something. They could feel it. And they just allowed their mind, their ego, which was just trying to protect them, they allowed that ego to just take over. All right, let's get some advice from Spirit. Now, in the extended, I'm going to look at their thoughts of the karmic or third party, if there's one that is connected to your connection. And then we'll look at what's going to be this person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. But if you can't join me, this is Spirit's advice for you today. We have bones for casting, divination. So maybe some of you guys are being called to develop your psychic gifts. You have the natural talent for divination. So there is that. I myself have been looking into, different ways of divining. And I'm really looking for someone to show me like how to properly read the bones. I mean, I know I can do it, but I always like to learn how it's done authentically, and then I have my own style from there. We have the conch shell, and the conch shell, especially in my culture, is a call to action. Okay, and it says here calling. So some of you guys are receiving a calling on your life right now. Remember, I told you some of you guys have been abdicating your duty, right? You've been caught up in so many different things, in your work, family life, and all of that. But there's also a spiritual duty that you have, and some of you guys have been abdicating your duties. But Spirit is saying, it's calling to you now because you are needed. You are needed. All hands on deck, right? And it says here, conception. Something is about to be birthed. Something wants to ground, and you have a role in that. For some of you guys, that calling might be to ground a project that you basically put on the back burner. Spirit is saying, now's the time. Now's the time. And if you've not completed it, or you've not taken action, it says conception. Spirit say, start making a plan. Start making a plan. Start putting that energy and effort into this. Now is the time. Whatever that project is, it is needed. For some of you, maybe you're called to have a child. It feels like this child is going to be another star seed as well. Someone very spiritually powerful. I'm not telling you to go out there and have a baby, but for some of you, if you already got that into your psyche, Spirit say, go get it. Make it happen. If that's already in your psyche, if that's your life stream, and you're really feeling that calling, now your biological clock is ticking, Spirit is saying, it's time. I mean, like, when you look out in the world, it may not look like it's time, right? With so much uncertainty, but Spirit is saying, it's time. Okay? All right, my love. So thank you so much for joining me in this reading. Thank you so much for all the beautiful things that you do for my channel. I really appreciate you guys. You're always there for me. Thank you.